Hi, I chose The Reason I Jump by Naoki Higashida because I've always been interested in autism, and this book really hit home as far as from another perspective and a child that actually has autism. And he talked a lot about his frustrations in life. In the very beginning of the book, he explained how autism is really misrepresented, in which and it's really hard to convey your message and communicate with people. And he quotes, "In which your faculty of speech is taken away, explaining that you're hungry or tired or in pain is now beyond your powers as a chat with a friend." How sad is that you actually cannot communicate as other people can, as you're watching them freely speak. It talked about it's a dam burst of ideas, memories, impulses, and thoughts. It's cascading over you unstoppably. Wow, how sad, but very interesting to see that point of view. He also talked a lot about how autistic people are really positive, and they really see the beauty in life, like such as nature. And throughout the book, it had pictures of nature, and where the author explained how he's very free with nature, and that's why, in a sense, autistic people run away. Like in this picture, is about a flower, and how he just feels so free when he's outside. And it just made me think about, well, maybe we should have our classrooms outside more, or maybe we should be more interested in stimulating their environment where there's nature. So let me get to that question. He explained it's just to be able to study like other people, we need more time and different strategies and approaches. So that was a really good teaching point for me in bringing it home, as far as, they don't process things the same way as we do. They process things slower, and they need to be stimulated much at a different environment. It also explained how they don't like. He asked, do you just like reading and picking apart long sentences? He said, no, I don't dislike longer sentences. Whatever else is going on, I'm always hungry to learn about lots of different things. So it really gets me down to people that just don't understand how hungry how hungry for knowledge people with autism actually are. So his patient does wear out quickly, but he also kept saying, please don't give up on me, on my hope, and all those kinds of things. It was just really, really interesting point of view, and again, more pictures of nature and how he feels it free. And he said that namely making friends with nature, like I highlighted that part, but nature is always there at a hand to wrap us up, gently glowing, swaying, bubbling, and rustling. Awesome point. So autism is tough. It's a tough thing that we don't know a lot about, but we have books like these that really open up our eyes into his mind and his frustrations as well. And then he says you can't express yourself to the people you love. How hard would that be, that you can't tell your mom or your significant other how you are feeling at a given point, and you can't do that? And it must be frustrated for the caregivers as well. Throughout the book, he kept saying, don't lose hope on me, and I won't lose hope on you. Please be patient with me. He also, consistency equals happiness. I wrote that up there, where they have a hard time with change, and change is difficult, and when things don't change, it's comforting, just like with nature. It's always going to be there. Again, more pictures with nature. They like certain TV programs because they're familiar, again, going that consistency. Another really cool tip that I saw, that eating is living, and that's why they're picky eaters. So little by little, it does take time, but again, be patient, because sometimes they're picky about certain things that they eat. And then I wrote down that autistic people can't ever talk out a problem with someone, so they use their body to express panic and being distraught. So in our case, it's just not an option to talk. It's more of their option is flailing their arms and spinning, and that's how they express themselves. So it may come out across as a tantrum, but in reality, they're just trying to express themselves. And then I also thought that it was great in some of this book that he talked about how autistic people don't like, or at least he doesn't, putting people down. He doesn't see the joy in that, but he sees the joy in other positive things like nature and, and a song that they saw or heard on the radio, and something that's familiar. That's what they find joy in. So of course, down the road when I'm an administrator, it's good to know that because they learn differently and they see things from a very different perspective in their world. And maybe they're here to explain that to us and show us that, there's the simple things in life and appreciate them. And I almost feel like maybe they're angels in some way or another. And to have us stop and smell the roses, if you will, and really appreciate the better things in life. So this is a great book. I'm recommending it to everyone I know, and especially those who I teach and work with, because we actually do have a student in our grade that is autistic, and she will be getting this book tomorrow, actually. And I can't wait to share her all these great questions and details throughout this boy's perspective. And it was just a really, really great book, and I'm so glad that I picked it because it was very difficult to start my paper because I didn't know where to start. There were so many ideas. So I would recommend it to anyone. The Reason I Jump, awesome book. Thank you.